Hello everybody, welcome to It's a Camping Thing. My name is Paul and today I'm not at a campsite. No, petrol prices are sky high and I thought I would do a little bit of camping in the old garden, just for a change. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago I was at Hunstanton going camping, or namely really Snetcham Meadows, which was 4 miles or 10 minutes drive away from Hunstanton. Now in that particular video I made a rather long video. It was an hour and 16 minutes. Yeah, well, not good. But in that video I had 3 accessories and I did the filming there. So this is the introduction into those bits that I eventually cut out to make a 52-minute video. Yeah, 52-minute video, which is still rather long. I need to kind of talk less, but there you go. Now these 3 accessories are predominantly if you're going to be going campsite camping. So for those of you who want to go wild camping, not really applicable, because one of them is a really long table, which is, funny enough, just here, 120 centimeters wide. So yeah, I'm going to cut to me from a couple of weeks ago where I was at Snetcham Meadows in this very tent, the Camper Wonderlight 03. Now, I got this on Amazon for an incredible price, and if you can guess the price before I give you the answer, fantastic, well done to you. But I got this off eBay, brand new, and it measures 120 centimeters by, I believe it's about 50 or 55 centimeters wide. And I got it off eBay brand new, and I was like, wow. So that's your basic structure. And then you've got these poles that you need to slot in. Doesn't come with any instructions, which did confuse me at first. There's little holes and they just clamp in. There's like a little spike, a little nylon spike. So they're located into 120 centimeters. And it can vary in height from 50 to 80 centimeters tall. So if I'm using something like my, I don't know, my Quechua Air Seconds Fresh and Black 4.2, for instance, I could use it for that, and I could raise the legs accordingly. Now this is going to be in the vestibule area at the very end. That's all located nicely in. And then we put the top on like so, and then there's some little clamps. You just locate it and they clip on like that. Flatten it out a little bit. I have done this outside of the tent because there's a little bit more light out here. Just need to reconfigure that and there. And then put that on that. Like that. And then some more clamps just here. Just a case of lining them up. There's another one underneath, and there's a storage bag which you can hook, as I'm dropping all my money all over the place, what's left of it. There's a storage bag you can place underneath. Now the price, how much was it? I got this off eBay, brand new. I still can't get over it, the price. I got this brand new on eBay for £23.99. £23.99. Now I did read the reviews. There is another manufacturer that we all probably use. I'm not going to use that, but basically there's a sort of bag that goes underneath. It's a little bit tricky to clamp in, but I'm not going to bother with that. I've got all the storage space that I need, but it gives you the idea. So that was the 120 centimeter long table, and I didn't put the bag underneath, did I? No, because I was a little bit in a hurry. I was getting tired. It'd been a very long day, just like today actually, funny enough. So I didn't put the bag under. I didn't really realize actually how to attach it properly, in all fairness, but now I have. It's been a couple of weeks and it's right there, so I'll put it on screen now for you. And here is the table with the accessory, the bag that comes with it underneath. It's got a couple of Velcro strips around each of the 4 legs. See there. Now you can put things in there. You're a little bit obstructed by these bars that go through, but you can put some lightweight items in there. It's not going to take a lot of load or weight in there, but it's a nice addition to have and just keeps things off the ground. The legs you can actually extend as well, up to I believe 80 centimeters. It's currently about 50 centimeters high. You just need to bear that in mind. But yeah, that's a great accessory. Fits inside the camper Wonderlight just perfectly, aligning with the door, so it's not wasting any space that's needed for here where I could put a chair or anything like that. But yeah, I really like that. Now I did find it on eBay. It was a bargain. I did find a table that was similar on Amazon, which was 90 centimeters wide, not the 120, which is right here. The 90 centimeter, including the bag and not adjustable legs, that on Amazon was I think £43.99, and I got that table for £23.99. So it was a very good saving on that part. It just goes to show that you need to shop around. I'm not affiliated with either eBay or Amazon or any company. All these products are purchased out of my own money, so it's good to have a look around and browse and see which offers the best value for money. Don't go to the first online shop or the first shop that you see and think, yeah, have a look around. It does pay. Now that table is not the best build quality, but hey, at that sort of price, if it goes wrong or lasts a year or so, then great. If it needs to be replaced and I find use for it, I can always replace it. It is a very good price point, so it does pay to shop around. I say £23.99 is a bargain for a table of that size, and it does have adjustable legs, has the bag underneath. Yeah, the only thing I would say is it's quite heavy, it's quite bulky, and it's not really something you're going to be wanting to transport from inside the tent to outside the tent, because obviously it's quite bulky, and you don't want to be cooking inside a tent ideally because of the buildup of carbon monoxide, which is obviously poisonous. So if you're going to be using gas, properly do it outside on a lighter weight table. I used mine in the Camper Wonderlight 03 for basically a place to store things, to keep it off the ground inside the vestibule area. So there we go. So next accessory. One of my bugbears with camping is this stage where I'm transferring gear from the car to the tent, backwards and forwards, or going to the facilities and wearing my shoes, and you've got mud, moisture and whatever else is on the ground, and you could potentially transfer it, and often do, into the tent. And don't forget, when this tent gets disassembled tomorrow, if you put mud in there, it's going to be like one of those books, when you put like a little bit of paint inside and you close the book and you open it up and it's like, oh look, it's a butterfly. It looks beautiful, but not so much with a tent. You're going to get dirt on the floor, on the ceiling, on the sides, and it's just not good. You want to keep the inside of the tent pristine. In a couple of years time, I want this tent to look exactly the way it does now. So I want a pair of shoes that I can slip on or off, something kind of, water repellent or water resistant. Pair of slippers. What a great idea. So these are very cozy. These cost me £24.99 from Amazon, and they are rubber-based sole, and they are memory foam, and they are extremely comfortable and incredibly warm. Absolutely wonderful. I can slip these on when I'm going to the facilities or to the car, and I could just keep the inside of my tent clean, which is like, oh, Yes, please. And I don't have to ruin a perfectly good pair of boots by crushing the heel, because I know I'm going to be too lazy and just go, oh, just slip them on, it'll be fine. A couple of months later, oh, I've got a heel which is all crushed. Not good. So, pair of slippers, water repellent, very cozy, from Amazon, $24.99. Problem solved. And they were so warm. Lovely. I've been looking forward to this. I've even driven in them, actually. There we go. Without falling over. On camera. So yeah, that was the slippers. Now, it's not a big deal. You know, it's not like, you know, those slippers you could use in general purpose, really. I've been using mine for the last week because I have Achilles tendinopathy. It's little tiny tears in the back of the tendon, blah, blah, blah. And I needed something that was comfortable to wear any time I did need to get up for toilet. It was something nice to wear. And also as well, conversely, when I go camping, there's nothing worse than having a pair of boots. You want to slip your foot in, you're thinking, I just need to nip to the toilet. And it's like, you slip your foot in and you ruin the backs, you flatten them. Probably because I'm lazy. But yeah, I really should put shoes on properly. But when you just nip into the loo, it's like, yeah, I'll just nip to the loo, it's only be a couple of minutes, I'll just slip these on. Before you know it, the back end of the boots are gone. So having a pair of slippers is brilliant. And the fact that they're water resistant, not waterproof. If you put your foot with these slippers on in a puddle, your feet are going to get wet. Now, on that camping trip, I did wear them a lot. My feet were both warm and dry. Brilliant. So they did the job. And it was, I won't say it was muddy, but the ground was soft underneath. So for me, those slippers are a wonderful addition to my kit. Now, for my third item, it is a head torch. Okay, it's about 9:10 at night. I'm tired, it's been a long day, but I wanted to show you this head torch, this Tron head torch. Not officially titled Tron, it's just my particular name for it because there was a comment in the on the video about it. I think it was from a guy called Rob, so if it's you, Rob, we're going to call this the Tron after what you said about it. So yeah, it's basically got two buttons at the side, it's incredibly comfortable. It has a rechargeable battery inside, which is powered. You can charge it up with a USB type C, and the two buttons on the side, one towards the front of the face, one close to my ear. The one towards the front of my face is literally the mode button, so on, lower power on the Tron part, and then we go to the side torch, which is kind of more of a focus beam, so you can see that, that's, yeah. And then we press it again and it's off again. But if we put it on again and then we press the button at the rear, now we have motion sensing. So this is great for if you're walking to and from the facilities. I wouldn't recommend it for tent, and here's why. Because I can do that, I can turn it off, turn it on. Great when you're kind of, you know, you're out walking or you're going to the facilities at night and you want to see where you're going. Great. In a tent, not so much, because literally I put my hands up there, I'm not doing anything. It's like, yeah, I'm looking for something, and my light keeps flicking on and off. So there we go. Very powerful. The one thing I will say is the fact that if I can show you it without it, we'll turn that off. There is literally, and I fully charged this before I came out, what's that, 2 green lights already? There was 3. So the battery in this is not going to last a long time at all. So if you're going to be going camping for 2, maybe 3 nights, I would suggest taking a power bank or 2 with a USB type C connecting lead, so you can charge this up, because the battery's draining already, you know. But it is incredibly comfortable, it is incredibly bright, and also as well you've got that motion sensing thing, which I suggest is better if you're going for a walk in a field, going to and from the facilities, not so much in the tent, but at least you have that option. So there we go, that's the head torch. And for what, a £10, £15 I think it was, I think I might have got it on offer. it's really good. And there are other options out there on the market as well. Now, in the video when I was at Snettisham Meadows, which I can never really say properly, I have to think about it, Snettisham Meadows. Meadows fine, I can pronounce it, it's the Snettisham. I give my first impressions of this particular tent, the Camper Wonderlight 03. And my opinion hasn't really faltered since then. To be fair, this is only the third time it's been up. The second time was at Hunstanton or Snettisham Meadows, and then the first time was in the garden to make sure that everything was there. Now again, I still really like it. I love the rear entrance door. It makes loading the bedroom area so much easier. The vestibule, hey, I can stand up in, you know, I'm sitting in a chair. I'm in the tent now, I'm 5'10", and I've still got room between the ceiling of the fly and my head. Fantastic. You know, if the weather was bad outside, I could sit in here, no problem. You've got an optional ground sheet in here which comes with the tent, but you can leave it out. You got so many things you can do, and obviously the two side doors are fantastic. The blackout bedroom, I would say the fact that some people may be kind of not for them, and the reason is, I've thought about this recently, is the fact that some people think that, oh, a blackout bedroom, I want a blackout bedroom with 99.9% blackout. You're not going to get that with this. It does darken it to a degree, but not to the point where it is literally pitch black in there. And I've been in some tents that are pitch black in there. Literally, you have your hand in front of your face, and it's a beautiful blue sunny sky outside. I remember when I was it 2019, I was at Keswick Camping and Caravanning Club, a beautiful blue sunny day, absolutely perfect weather, and yet I lost my keys. I was like, where's my keys? I didn't put them in the pocket, where are they? So then obviously oh, head torch, and like literally people are walking around in shorts and t-shirts outside. So there's pros and negatives to having a completely 100% blackout bedroom. So if you want that, probably this tent isn't going to be for you. But for me, I'm kind of in the middle. I don't mind either or, really. I say that rear door for me, and the fact that I can sit in the vestibule area like this. Okay, admittedly I can't stand, but I can live with that. Yeah, it's really lovely. So there we go. I will be doing a review of this particular tent in the forthcoming weeks and months, once we've had some inclement weather, some rain, some wind, and I can see how it fares in those conditions. It would be unfair of me to fully recommend the tent without trying in those conditions, and obviously I've got to wait for Mother Nature to get a, you know, we had rain literally for weeks and weeks and weeks. I get the tent, hardly any rain, which is a good thing, but I want to test out the tent and see how well it is. But there we go. So if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel, clicking on that bell icon to be notified of all future video releases, including when I get to review this particular tent and tell you how I get on with it. But I want to try it out many times, which is why I'm out here in the garden, because I just want to change from the same four walls. A week of being in the bedroom where you are literally like, how you can't walk, so literally you have to rest your ankle. This is paradise, believe you me. Anyway, I want to thank you very much for watching. You take care of yourselves, and if you're out camping, have fun. If not, get planning for the next one. Camping's amazing, I love it. Take care of yourselves. See you soon, bye bye.